What's good? We'll get this here going, man. We'll get this set up. Like I said before, I'm gonna get my office in order, man. Let me get my office right, so I can bring this here, so I can bring these latest developments to you. hmm Yeah, just like the thumbnail said, man. Gucci Man betrayed, kidnapped, robbed, allegedly by Pooh Shiesty, his daddy, and his crew. And according to where I get my sources from, which was the Law and Crime Network, they put out a video that y'all should check out. It's talking about the latest developments, man. And I'm gonna run down and try to interpret it and give y'all the most hood perspective from an ex-criminal. I haven't did Fed time, but I did state time, and I'm familiar with the way the feds work. If you're from the hood, you know how the feds work. When they come, they already got a substantial amount of evidence, and everything is allegations into proven otherwise in trial. And I know it's going to be a trial, but from the evidence that was laid out on the crime network is mounting heavily, allegedly against Shiesty and his crew or his niggas. Now the biggest thing that files in evidence is the digital trail. They got a serious digital trail against allegedly against Shiesty and his daddy and a couple of his niggas. You know what I'm saying? And what they got is the fact that they got records that allegedly a Hellcat that belongs to Shiesty dad. They got that. They got the tag number. They got records that the Hellcat went from Memphis, Tennessee to Dallas, Texas in the same amount of, and they have video. Well, not video. They release stills, like pictures. Everything that on the Law Network is pictures, all pictures, and they got the dudes with the same clothes in different parts of the country as they travel to get away. And I'm gonna get it more into details about that. But far as in the vehicles, they got a Hellcat and a Dodge truck. And they got records of those two vehicles traveling from Memphis, Tennessee, Dallas, Texas, and back. And the they got evidence that those same guys was there. They got a paper trail of some of the actions that was reported, and they corroborated some of those actions, like when they allegedly robbed them and kidnapped them. They allegedly forced them to sign a contract to release Pooh Shiesty out of his of his contractual and musical obligations with Gucci, his record label, 1017. So after that happened, they traveled to I think Staples, to get copies of that, and they have like stills and images of those guys going into Staples to make the copies of the contract. And those two vehicles, one was a Dodge truck that have an Arkansas license plate, and they got the hotel that they stayed in. They got evidence that the rental that was used allegedly by them was rented by Pooh Shiesty's dad, and everything they have is digital. They have, give me 1 second. They got license tag readers that have them in the area. They also have all the digital evidence that's mounting up against Pooh Shiesty and his crew. Allegedly. I'm gonna always say allegedly because they are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But the betrayal part about it is what I want to touch on next. Now, you could have 4 different perspectives and try to make some logic out of what they was trying to really accomplish, in my opinion. Now you go street, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Let's say that. Allegedly, they felt like they ain't had no other choice because they own that and bought that life. And what's crazy is Shiesty, this is not an allegation right here. This is not alleged. This is facts. He was on house arrest. He was on Fed house arrest for all type of charges. You you could do your research if you don't know what those charges are. But he was on paper. He was on ankle monitor, and it was saying ankle monitor tracked him from going from this spot to the next spot. And you know what spots I'm talking about, from Tennessee to Texas and so forth. Now you could look at all the digital evidence that they left behind and be like, how you go commit a crime in this day and age with all the digital footprints that y'all left? They got cell phone records, they got car records, they got license tag records, they got digital stills of them being at the studio, they got digital stills of them at Staples making copies of the contract, they got digital stills of them at the hotel that they stayed overnight that was booked by one of the individuals who was there. It's crazy how it's like they and then went on social media with the same chain and watch, and it's gonna be hard to beat all these allegations and all this evidence for the simple fact that they left it all in they left a digital footprint basically. Now back to the street nigga mind frame. I guess they feeling like Gucci trying them, holding them back from thriving, but there's other ways to go around that. And Gucci man, like, he a street dude, but he a business man at the same time. That's basically switching it up to a business mind frame. Now you go feel some type of way. You go feel a lot embarrassed that you know you a street dude and you getting robbed, and it's gonna tear up your reputation allegedly. And the fact that you done already been through this and everybody know the outcome on what happened when Gucci the other time somebody tried to rob him. So Shiesty and them know that allegedly. So when they come, they go come when they come. and be correct. And then you got a point of the matter that at one point, and all this is alleged, and all this was reported by what I'm reporting is reported on the Law and Crime Network. Check them out on YouTube. They did a real good piece, and that's showing the information that I get it from. And they say that one of the dudes with Gucci was acting kind of like fidgety. He was like jumping or whatever, and they put that thing to his head allegedly, and allegedly one of the dudes with Shiesty them, I can't, you know what I'm saying? Check out the Law Network. They was like, nah, don't kill him. So basically, Shiesty them being street dudes, normally when you run up and you know, have that type of energy, you go, you know, a lot of the times you go really leave people alone down there, you know, after doing all this, knowing they know who he is, and you know, they try to make it seem like this I'm doing a mercy. This a mercy. It's a mercy lick I'm pulling on you. Like I could bang you, but I'm just trying to get out this contract, and just cause you know what I'm saying, I'm a street dude, I gotta have this here. I gotta leave with this here because I'm coming with wolves. I came with wolves, so we got the wolves got to eat too, and that's part of the problem. If Shiesty would have just handled business with Gucci, they wouldn't have all these allegations and charges, and you know this is a federal case. So we all know how the feds come. They gonna come, and they gonna know what they know. So the biggest part, allegedly, far as in what they got for evidence, is the digital trail that was left behind by, you know, allegedly by Shiesty and his dudes, as well as his daddy. Now, as a father, you should never try to put your kids in a position to be on that type of timing. And that's crazy. I can't judge. I ain't go, because I don't know the mind frame of that type of situation. I'm just gonna go on the street part about it, but I can't go on the father son bond about that, because I don't see me and none of my kids ever, because that's just too many eggs in a basket of consequences that could go wrong. Because when you out there in the streets, like me, I'm so like, I don't like, you know, you can't put too many eggs in the basket when you doing dirt. You got, you know, too many people you love in the same crime. That's conflict of interest, because it's you know, it's deep when it's wrong consequences. Now everybody soldiered up and make it happen and go, and you know that's, you know, but back to the subject at hand. You got the wrong type of energy when you trying to do legal business. You a rapper, that's legal, but you doing dirt. You doing dirt to try to justify being legal, and that's gonna make you crash out every time. A lot of evidence that they have allegedly is grown, is deep, and it go send them boys away, like they said on the press conference. You know, like they say, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, and the ranges is from 0 time to life. And we already know, you know, a lot of the stuff you could say, you could try to save the money and say, nah, the money ain't had nothing to do with this. This was just us because we felt such and such, but that's some collective effort with dudes trying to say that, okay, we coming with the like-mindedness, but dude, the main figure who they, you know, he ain't no angel because he was already on papers, already on house arrest for gangster type shit. So it's gonna be hard for the the defense to just say that old boy Shiesty just straight up innocent, because he not, and that's crazy. But that's allegations. Everything is allegations. Nothing is proven. Everything is everybody got to have their day in court. But it's just not. It don't look like a good case for the main part, and we really got to look at that as an example, especially when you trying to do legal things. You can't mix in the streetness, the all the street stuff that you know. It's hard to unknow what you know, but you gonna have to control and compartmentalize. You know what I'm saying? But you got to separate the streets from the business. You got to separate street emotions, street reactions, and business emotions and business reactions. And if you have a contract, a legal binding contract, you will have to be able to uh, hold that obligation. You got to stand on that contract and either lower or you go be able to, you know, fold, or you could come up. It's other ideas you could do. You could be able to come up with a whole new group, change your name, but you don't have to resort into going to street stuff when you trying to do legal things. That's how a lot of the dudes crash out, because they misconstruing what they really set to do. You trying to set up your family for riches, not set up your family for chain gang. So then that's gonna bring a strain on everybody who love you. So now they gotta be your support system. You gotta be calling people, trying to remind them of what you did for them so that they can look out for you, because you put yourself in a predicament, in a situation that's going to have people to move around funds that they barely have to help you out, because you the money. You the one with all the motion, and you led your team to crash. That's my opinion. And if the allegations stand, is not a good look in a part of people trying to say they trying to do the most for their family. Because when you locked up and you dealing with the mental realization of what you face with, you go think about 1,000,001 other ways on how you could have been going about yourself, how you could have conducted business, how different you could have did things. And that's when the realization that come in, that you realize that it's not about what your image is supposed to be. It's not about what you think you're supposed to be doing. It's not about nothing that you're doing and trying to prove, especially if it's going to bring the results that brought forth right now. Pooh Shiesty, his crew, they got a lot of evidence. They left a digital trail amongst what's going on about what happened. And everything is allegations true, but they have digital evidence from pictures of them at the studio. They got pictures, they got license tag readers for the vehicles that were used. They got rental car info on the rentals that was used. They even had hotel pictures with people who use their names in the hotels, that they use the name of the hotel and so forth. So they have what they say mountain evidence against Shiesty and his dudes, and they gonna have to have a mean huddle game and mean lawyers to try to hopefully they could be able to, but it don't look good because of the digital footprint that was left. And the betrayal about it it's a double-edged betrayal, because the money man supposed to be leading into more money. The background players supposed to be making sure that the money man don't have nothing to do with nothing, or making sure that none of them don't have nothing to do with nothing because of the consequences and the the reward, if y'all do it the right way, the reward of making it in the music biz is a lot of money, a lot of fame, and all the stuff that they want to come with it. So that's why they went and risk their life and they freedom and everything that they doing to try to get out this contract. But they thought about the wrong way to get out the contract because they trying to use street tactics to do illegal work. You to do legal work, excuse me. You cannot be in a sense where you gonna have to result in a street moves, street actions, criminal activities in the sake of something legal. That's go bring the wrong results every time. Only time you righteous on that is some type of vigilante type stuff. Vigilante action gets you sympathy. You cannot come with a defense saying that you was desperate trying to do everything in your power to get out this contract when if you had a record amount contract, you put them records out. You put that work out so that you could be able to be out the contract. Here you go. I gave you your records. Now, if the record label those records and don't put them out and use, let's say, shiesty business tactics, then you gonna have to come and figure out another way. Like come up with another name, come out with a group, do some other things. It's gonna be ways that you could do it to make your buzz so high that the record labels go push your music. But when you go and grab guns and kidnapping people, that's gonna bring feds. And you already on paper. They found you. They tracked the ankle monitor from all the locations. They got the rental information. They got pictures at the studio. They got pictures at the hotel, at Staples where you made copies of the contract that you forced Gucci to sign. They say they even recorded the Gucci signing saying that he releasing Shiesty out the contract. Everything that they have is collaborate with the report that was made, and the feds got it, and how quick the feds move and made their arrest and release the information of the facts to what they know they have. It seems like it's gonna be the type of case that's gonna be swift and it's not looking good, and they facing up to life. And it wasn't the best moves. It wasn't the best moves to make because of the results of what happened, the outcome. You in the digital world. You in 2026. You how you think you could be able to do crimes of that nature and don't leave a digital footprint? It's virtually impossible. It's virtually impossible to be able to make those type of moves and get away with it. And you got dudes on the internet posting pictures of the alleged uh, items that was taken from the alleged victims. Mm-mm. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got right now. And y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. And when you get the latest, I'm gonna bring that to you too, man. One.